Streaming has created millionaires, but not everyone started on equal ground. Some streamers started with high-end gear, private schools, and million-dollar mansions. Others streamed from tiny bedrooms, fighting to keep the lights on. This is the story of privilege versus hard work. Starting off with Kai Cenat, one of the biggest names in streaming today, breaking records with Mafiathons in Streamer University and pulling in millions of fans. But was he backed up by a privileged family, or was his story just something else? To understand his story, we need to start at the very beginning. Born in December 2001, Kai grew up in the Bronx, New York, in a low-income household. Raised by his mother alongside 3 siblings, his family faced constant struggles to make ends meet. At one point, they were even forced to move into a shelter just to survive.
Like, if you have a rough start, move it, cause she done did so much. Like, I grew up in the shelter, like, real shit. Like, and my pops was never there, so.
With no safety net or financial backing, Kai learned early that if he wanted something, he'd have to work for it. As a teenager, he started uploading skits and challenge videos on YouTube, often filming on his phone or borrowing equipment.
I know a lot of y'all been asking me, Kai, where's your YouTube channel? Why don't you have a YouTube channel? You need to start getting paid for what you're doing. Kai, where's your YouTube channel? I got one thing to say. Welcome to my YouTube channel!
For years, his content barely got noticed, but Kai kept grinding, balancing school, part-time jobs, and hours of editing just to keep his dream alive, and then his Ding Dong Ditch video happened.
I started doing YouTube, and in college, I decided to do Ding Dong Ditch in college, in like the hallways and stuff. I did one, I posted it, the next day I woke up to like 25,000 views, which is crazy. So I'm like, what the hell? Fell asleep, woke up the next day, it was at like 100,000. Then I just spammed that, and every time I dropped a new one, it finally started to hit like 1 million.
Then Twitch happened. Kai switched over to streaming, and that's when things really started taking off. In 2020, Kai joined the AMP Collective, giving him the chance to collaborate with other creators and expand his reach. His high-energy personality and comedic style quickly set him apart. But even then, success didn't come overnight. It took countless hours of streaming and strategizing before his breakthrough moment finally came. In 2023, Kai made history by breaking Twitch's subscriber record during a month-long subathon, pulling in over 300,000 subscribers in just 1 month.
I brought my whole family. Hairstyle!
That moment turned him into one of the most talked about creators in the world. Today, Kai Cenat has millions of followers, lucrative brand deals, and an estimated net worth of over $8 million. But where Kai had to work through things, borrow equipment, and survive shelter life, Adin Ross had everything given to him. Adin Ross is one of the most talked about streamers today. With over 1 million subs on Kick and $1 million deals stacking up, Adin has become the OG of streaming. But was his journey built on hard work, or was everything handed to him? Well, the answer might surprise you. Born in Boca Raton, Florida, in 2000, Adin grew up in a middle-class family and had a relatively comfortable childhood. His parents always made sure he had access to the latest consoles, Nintendo, Xbox, you name it. For Adin, gaming wasn't a privilege. It was just part of life.
You know, when I was 4 or 5 years old, I was playing video games. I would sit in front of my TV, you know, playing video games for hours and hours when I was in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade.
Over the years, his family moved a lot from Florida to California, then later to New York, giving him access to better schools and opportunities than most kids his age. He eventually attended a private high school in California, but even then, Adin wasn't interested in following the traditional path. He dropped out to pursue streaming full-time, a decision that raised eyebrows in his family. But Adin was determined to make it big. By 2019, he started streaming NBA 2K and slowly built a name in the gaming community. But his rise wasn't the result of years grinding alone. In 2020, he started playing with Bronny James, LeBron's son, and that one connection blew him up overnight.
I met him playing NBA 2K20. Back when quarantine was a thing, you know what I mean? Lockdown, so he wasn't in school. I met him playing 2K20.
Almost overnight, his streams went from hundreds of viewers to tens of thousands. He moved into a content creator house in Los Angeles, surrounded by influencers and celebrities. His Twitch channel exploded, and he became known for his wild energy, celebrity collabs, and unpredictable streams. But Adin's rise wasn't without controversy. Twitch bans, internet drama, and reckless behavior only seemed to make him more popular. Even after getting permanently banned from Twitch, he secured a multi-million-dollar exclusive deal with Kick, cementing his place as one of streaming's biggest names.
I get paid by the hour.
Okay. There's like that's probably so as much as you work,
Pretty
you're
much.
getting paid. And is that like a
I get paid pretty well.
5-figure number? Just 6-figure number?
I'm sorry, I'm stupid. What's 5 figures?
Like 10,000 to 99,000
An hour?
or 100,000 or more an hour, like is 6 figures.
The first option.
It's in the 5-figure range.
Yes.
That's wild though. That's crazy. That's great.
Pretty good.
Today, Adin Ross is worth over $16 million, owns luxury cars, and lives a life of private jets, designer clothes, and viral moments. For Adin, streaming wasn't about survival, it was about turning a hobby into a golden ticket. But the same couldn't be said for Duke Dennis. Denzel Shaquille Dennis, better known as Duke Dennis, is now one of the most recognizable creators online. But what he is today is far different from where he started. Born on February 26, 1994, in Greenville, South Carolina, Duke grew up with his single mother and 2 brothers. His family struggled financially, and life in Greenville offered few opportunities for kids like him. Sports became that escape. As a teenager, Duke excelled at football, using every ounce of his energy to stay out of trouble and stay focused on something positive. He was good enough to receive scholarship offers from community colleges, but life at home wasn't getting any easier. When he graduated from high school, Duke felt like he had no clear path forward. Instead of going to college, he made a decision that surprised everyone. He enlisted in the US Army, but it wasn't what he thought it would be.
I feel like I wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
I feel like my life didn't really start until I got out of the Army.
Yeah.
The structure and long days left him feeling trapped, and deep down, he knew it wasn't where he was meant to be. It was during this time that Duke started posting NBA 2K videos online. With no fancy setup or professional gear, he recorded videos in his spare time, not knowing it would one day change his life.
When I got off at 5, you work from, it's like the Army is a regular 9 to 5, except like the
Working out in the mornings.
Yeah, like the being on call 24/7 is what makes the Army like unbearable for me. So when I got off at 5, I would just take my uniform off and play 2K until I went to sleep. I didn't even know YouTube, like you could have your own personal channel. I thought it was just full of like music videos and fights and like just random videos. So when I found out that you could have your own personal channel and actually make money from it, I just tried it out. I took one of those videos, like you said, it was the girl hitting them. Yeah. I just took it, I posted on my own channel, and I forgot about it until like a few months later. I checked the how much money I made from it. It was like $200-300.
That was your first ever YouTube check though.
Yeah, it was.
And that's when he picked up the controller, not just for fun, but to build something real. In 2017, Duke started uploading NBA 2K content to YouTube, but his turning point came in 2019 when he co-founded the AMP Collective, a group that helped him branch out from gaming into lifestyle content, challenges, and collaborations. Duke's charisma made him a standout, and his involvement in popularizing slang like Riz and Aura cemented his influence on internet culture. But his journey wasn't without obstacles. Not just Duke was falsely accused in a legal case. In 2023, when an AMP event spiraled out of control, leading to a riot, Duke was arrested, though charges were later dropped. Even with these challenges, Duke's popularity continued to grow. Today, Duke Dennis is nominated for Streamy Awards, has millions of followers, and lives a life surrounded by luxury cars, designer clothes, and viral moments. But unlike creators who had a head start, Duke's success was built on persistence, resilience, and years of hard work. Duke Dennis worked his way up from a small room in South Carolina, turning persistence into success. But for Jack Doherty, struggle looked very different. With over 15 million YouTube subscribers and nearly 6 billion views, Jack Doherty is one of the most talked about creators today. At just 19, he's already living a life of luxury, designer clothes, exotic cars, and multi-million-dollar mansions. But his journey didn't start with struggle. Born in Long Island, New York, Jack grew up in a wealthy family with all the resources a future YouTuber could ask for. At just 12 years old, he launched his channel with backyard stunts, trampoline flips, and pranks. Even in those early videos, Jack was surrounded by high-end gadgets, luxury cars, and expensive toys. By the time he was 13, Jack was already earning tens of thousands a month from YouTube, and instead of saving up for his first camera or setup, he was flying planes, filming music videos in front of mansions, and stalking influencers at the FaZe house.
Rice gum! That's rice gum! That's rice gum! Yeah, look guys, that's a rice gum filled part of his music video.
Fast forward to today, Jack Doherty's content has only grown louder and more controversial. From pestering Ninja for clout to assembling a crew for viral pranks, his videos rake in millions even when they spark backlash. At just 19, Jack's net worth is estimated to be over $3 million, and it's only growing. Similar is the case for CaseOh, but unlike Jack, CaseOh's journey was a bit different. From getting his card declined at the dollar store to now pulling in nearly 2 million TikTok followers, CaseOh's glow-up is nothing less than epic.
Right, like a couple days before I started streaming, my card got declined at the dollar store because of the 2K builds. You know, I own everything I love. I went to the dollar store, the Family Dollar. I bought 2 bowls of noodles and a can of Pringles. Tried to swipe the card, it got declined. I just ran out the store on them, bro.
CaseOh Games, better known as CaseOh, is a rising content creator from Arkansas. At 25 years old, he's built a loyal fan base of over 500,000 Twitch followers and regularly streams to 11,000 viewers. But things weren't always this good for him.
I made it a goal of mine my whole teenage years, you know, tried to upload videos, didn't work out. But the day I started streaming, it was September 11th of 2022. It was 2 days after I uploaded my first TikTok. Dropped 3 TikToks that first night. Woke up the next day with like 15,000 followers. I was like, bro, wait a minute, you know what I mean?
Before the fame, CaseOh was helping his dad with maintenance work, cutting grass, doing odd jobs, and grinding to make ends meet. That kind of hustle taught him to appreciate the little things, but CaseOh wanted more.
Well, being absolutely miserable at work, of course, wanting to...
He started streaming with a basic setup, doing chill gaming content and reaction videos. For a long time, his views were nothing crazy, but he kept posting, tweaking his style, and staying consistent. Then, everything changed. CaseOh's TikTok started blowing up, racking up millions of views per clip. His goofy personality and non-stop jokes set him apart, and that energy carried over to Twitch, instantly boosting his numbers and officially launching his internet career.
Are you CaseOh from TikTok?
There ain't no way I just got recognized. Bro.
Are you dead serious? Yo, you're CaseOh from TikTok?
Dude.
His early setup was basic, his views were nothing crazy, but the man had persistence. He kept posting, kept tweaking his content, and eventually, he cracked the code. Today, CaseOh's streams pull in millions of views each month. His channel adds thousands of new subscribers daily, and his community feels like one big digital hangout. He went from barely getting noticed to living like a high roller online. Pokimane also tried to achieve what CaseOh did, but her journey was made easy by her loving family. With over 9 million followers on Twitch and millions more on YouTube, Pokimane is one of the most successful female streamers in history. She signed multi-million-dollar brand deals, collaborated with gaming giants, and built an empire. But was her journey to the top a tough one? Well, not exactly. Iman Anis, better known as Pokimane, was born in Morocco and moved to Canada at the age of 4. She grew up in a supportive middle-class household where education was a priority. After excelling in school, she enrolled at McMaster University to study chemical engineering, a career path her family fully supported.
This is little room that I had back at McMaster University.
Anis studied chemical engineering at McMaster University, but later dropped out to pursue her streaming career full-time. But Pokimane had other plans. In 2013, she started streaming on Twitch, playing Fortnite.
Are you joking me?
Unlike many aspiring streamers struggling to afford gear, Pokimane's financial stability allowed her to invest in a high-quality setup early on. As Twitch grew, so did her audience. By 2017, she was already one of the platform's top streamers, and joining offline TV helped her grow even bigger. Today, Pokimane is worth an estimated $25 million. She lives in a luxury Los Angeles home, owns high-end fashion collections, and continues to dominate the gaming industry. While her talent and consistency played a huge role in her success, there's no denying that her early stability and access to resources gave her an edge over most creators. Pokimane's early access to the right tools and a stable home gave her a head start in streaming. But for IShowSpeed, the grind started with nothing but determination, chaos, and a cheap setup in his mom's house. Darren Watkins Jr., better known as IShowSpeed, is one of the most viral creators on the planet. From streaming to a handful of viewers in his room to making music and hanging out with football legends, his rise to fame is nothing short of insane. But what most people don't realize is that Speed wasn't just poor, barely making ends meet in a single-parent household. His relationship with his mother also made life incredibly tough.
Have you told your mom about hitting on her kid? Yeah, I did tell her. She didn't even care, bro.
Speed was born in Ohio, to parents who couldn't make their relationship work. After his mom and dad divorced, his father lost custody of the kids, and Speed, along with his brother Jamal, stayed with their mom. His mom kept a strict house, rules were rules, and there were no exceptions, and while she supported him in her own way, their relationship wasn't easy.
Fuck off, and I got this motherfucker coming in my fucking room, telling me what the fuck to do. When it's 8:23 p.m., 8:23 fucking p.m. Chat, if y'all wonder why I start my streams early, it's because of her. That's the reason why I'm starting my streams early. Cause she got a rule of saying, be quiet. Everybody need to be quiet at 11 o'clock p.m.
Most people know Speed as the loud, chaotic guy barking on streams, but there were moments where his energy completely dropped. Clips of him looking serious, even defeated, after arguments at home, and his mom didn't always hide her frustration. She would barge into his room mid-stream, yelling in the background. At one point, she even came close to hitting him on live.
Hey, you're good. Hey, you good.
Yes,
Hey, you
chill.
good.
Will you chill?
Stop.
I mean it. No, you stop. Stop talking to people like that. Cut it out. Not in my house, and not with your siblings in. And I mean
But even with the tension at home and no father figure around, Speed kept going. He streamed daily and leaned into his wild personality to stand out. That said, it wasn't entirely her fault either. I mean, with someone like Speed constantly creating chaos in the house, anyone would probably lose it, especially when he pulled the Pikachu fireworks stunt.
Pikachu!
That was the final straw. He wrecked his room so bad they had to call firefighters to check things out. So yeah, it's no surprise his mom gave him an ultimatum. Either stop all this streaming nonsense or get out of her house, something Speed has mentioned to his viewers multiple times.
So she kicked me out.
Kicked you out of where?
No, she told me to quit.
Yeah.
Or I'm leaving. Like, you know, or like, you can't do this in my house.
Today, that kid from Ohio, who once streamed to a silent chat room, is a global star pulling in millions of views, traveling the world, and living a life that feels like a dream. From financial struggles to family tension, Speed's journey wasn't handed to him. He earned it. But Neon's journey was different because his biggest battle wasn't financial, but finding ways to keep people watching. What drives someone to humiliate themselves on stream, verbally attack others, and even stage their own death? For Neon, the answer was simple: attention.
I'm dying. I have 6 days to live. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just hope you guys will pray for me and be there for me.
Like many creators, Neon started off streaming NBA 2K from his family's home. But unlike some streamers on this list, he didn't have a hard start. He grew up in a stable household with enough support to pursue content creation full-time. Rangesh Neon Mutama grew up in a middle-class household in Chicago, raised by parents of Indian-Pakistani descent. His father, once a member of a Pakistani rock band, later became a successful real estate agent, so Neon always had stability and support behind the scenes. So unlike streamers scrambling with shaky setups or family drama in the background, Neon had the luxury of focusing purely on content.
What's good, YouTube, man? It's Neon2K here, but yo, as you can see from the title, bro, it says my new build is godly, and y'all.
Still, it was hard for him to get noticed at first. So he switched to Fortnite and started using clickbait thumbnails, fake kill counts, and loud, over-the-top streams to get attention. His fake flexing made it clear he was chasing views, not being real. But here's the thing, even though his millionaire act was all for show, it worked. Neon's antics helped him collaborate with big names like Adin Ross, and pull in thousands of new viewers who wanted to see what he'd do next.
Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
Today, Neon isn't broke. With family backing and a knack for staying viral, he's built a full-time career on attention chasing and spectacle. He may not be wealthy by the dollar counts he flaunts, but his influence is very real. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like these ones as well, and don't forget to subscribe.